When I first watched videos like this, and this, and this, I wonder, how in the world do you do that? So I research, and research, and research again. But before that, let's roll the intro. The videos I watched is called 3D print labs. That the printed material seems like growing by itself. Because I'm a fan of 3D printing, I say to myself, that Lapse thing is awesome. How can I do that on budget? So I do my research and bump into these channels on YouTube and some websites that also explains how it works. I found out that there's a lot of ways to accomplish this task, and one of that is Octolapse, but that needs a Raspberry Pi. And I think the other way is what we need to focus on, because for me, it's more budget friendly. Because the hardware can easily acquired and maybe you have it already. So now, what's the hardware that we need? First, mobile phone. Second, headset. Third, tripod to hold the phone. Fourth, phone charger. Fifth, momentary switch. And optional, 220 ohm resistor. And of course, you need a 3D printer. Mini phones these days can be triggered using volume button to capture pictures. So we utilize the headset for that function. But I have a problem because the headset that I got doesn't have the volume button that we need to trigger the camera capture function. So I do my research again and found this diagram that in order to have that function, we need to add 220 ohms resistor pulled down from the mic pin to ground. So when you push the trigger, the resistor will be tied to ground. So I solder all the required connections, isolate it to avoid short circuit, and that's it. We are done on the electronics. Now, we have to find out how to mount the trigger button on the 3D printer's x-axis. For me, I just glued the switch to the tensioner assembly. I also designed and 3D printed a piece that presses the trigger. I mount it and it works well. Now, we have to find out the values of X and Y when the printer head is out of the way and nearly trigger the switch that we installed. And what is the value of X when it triggers the switch? For me, the X-axis value is 155 when it's near the switch and 157 when it triggers the switch. And the value of Y that the print bed reveals the print is 124. This is important because this is the actual position the camera capture a picture. Please take note the value in your setup because it depends on what print bed size your 3D printer have. And we're gonna use that in the next process. Now, let's go on to the slicer software. For me, I use Cura. We need to tweak the G-code on the slicer. That add the command to trigger the switch that we installed after printing every layer. I got this idea from the channel Isaac879. If you want, you can visit his channel to get more information or idea you need. But for now, I'll explain this to you first. We need to go to Extension, Post-Processing, Modify G-code, add a script, search and replace. On the search box, you need to type mesh, NONMESH, or you have to copy and paste the script on the description box below. And in the replace box, again, you have to copy and paste the modified script. that you already replaced with the X, Y, and Z value that your printer gave when we set it up previously. And the second script is G0 F300. You have to paste it to another search and replace instance. And in the replace box, you have to type G0 F9000. This is to eliminate the stringing on your print. And now, finally, we are ready to slice the 3D object that you have. Let's set up the phone. To capture consistent pictures that doesn't auto-adjust the settings, I recommend you to install Open Camera because you can lock the exposure and the white balance. And now, we are ready to do the time lapse. After you get a ton of pictures, you can now import it to your video sequencer app. And for me, Premiere Pro. Import as a sequence, spice up a little, and done! You got a beautiful 3D print lapse. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing and smash that like button. And if you haven't watched my videos yet, please click that box that shows up. Thanks for watching and hope you learned something. Till next time!